Shakida Dennis was born January 14, 1991 and was raised in Shreveport, Louisiana. She has 3 other siblings, 1 older brother and 2 younger sisters. Throughout Shakida's life she has written many stories for her own personal entertainment as a child growing up through the 90s and early aughts. I always wanted to be an author and writer. But with time a lot of those wants as a kid changed. If it were not for James Bolin I would have never turned back to wanting to write again. Growing up Shakida spent most of her time at one of her grandmother's house and, in turn grew up with some of her uncles and aunts. My mother's youngest sibling Johnny aka Bug, is 13 years my senior and I always thought that she was my older sister. So, I really was raised around the 70s and 80s generations and I think a lot like them. During those times a lot of troubles was going on. There was the war on drugs and avid hatred running amok. Kidnapping was at an all-time high and as a child growing up in the 90s this really shaped my outlook on life. But my mother Joan Dennis was very protective and caring of us. So, I nor any of my siblings fell to any of the drugs and traps that was laid out before us as kids. We got a cushion of sort and was really sheltered from most of the evils that was happening coming up. When my mother was hospitalized with a disease that has somehow made a comeback in modern day times. A disease known as Guillain-Barré syndrome. It was during this time I spent a lot of my childhood with my godmothers. Rabbi Evelyn F. Kalama, the late Pastor Robin M. Jones, and the late Minister Dawn Solomon and many others. These 3 women has had the most impact in my life. Being the leaders and founders of Crusade for Christ Full Gospel Deliverance Center ICS, Institute for Creative Science, ministries these women have helped many people in need throughout the years. If it were not for them and countless others I would not be here today. These women of God have shaped and molded me into the woman I am now and I cannot thank them enough. Another book will have to be written just to explain it all. So, to Minister Dawn, Pastor Robin M. Jones and Rabbi Evelyn F. Kalama, I thank you all deeply, and with gratitude.